Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and fascinating idea called, well, an intriguing looking puzzle called Diamonds by Good City. I mean, the idea, very straightforward, and I like this. We've got just Arrow Sudoku. Gives me a chance to advertise our Arrow Sudoku app, of course, which features a lot of puzzles like this, and one or two with combined rules, but check it out. It's in, if you go down to the app part of our description field, you can find your way to all our apps, including Arrow Sudoku and Line Sudoku, our latest, all of the other originals like Classic and Sandwich, more recent ones like Gas and so on. Check those out. They're really good puzzles. The Arrows app especially has some absolutely brilliant ones by some of the best minds in Sudoku, which literally are the best minds in the world as well. Of course, if you want something more current, there is our Patreon monthly reward, All the Fun of the Fair. Loads of people having a go at that. We're 1 week into a kind of 3-week period in which you can enter the competition. That's on our Patreon, of course. And All the Fun of the Fair has 5 puzzles, 2 medium, 2 hard, and 1 easy, is how it seems to be working out at the moment. So do check that out if you have the chance. Great fun to be had at that fairground. And on Patreon as well now, Simon's roller coaster solve of the Cogito's roller coaster Nurikabe puzzle takes him well over, well, 2.5 hours it takes. Well over 2 hours, I was going to say, and that's true. And frankly, I think he did an extremely good job. So check that out. It's a phenomenal puzzle. I hope I'm not saying that in advance of now taking 2.5 hours to solve Diamonds by Good City. Good City seems to be a new constructor. I think this is a debut on the channel. They are very welcome. Congratulations on constructing a puzzle which has just arrows in it and arrows which only have circles in the central box. That is a surprise. If we've seen a puzzle like that before, I don't remember it. Anyway, did I get everything mentioned? There's Sven's Sudoku Pad and our merchandise also on the links under the video. Do check them all out. Now, oh, and we might be streaming later in this week. And of course, our books are arriving. That's great news. Lots of Cracking the Cryptic's Greatest Hits Volume 2 are turning up in Britain and the USA now. And I think Australia have all got theirs already. So depending where you are in the world, there's an interesting book winging its way to you if you pledged to the Kickstarter. If you didn't, there may be ways to do that later, as there may be for the Fog of War ebook. So just keep tuned to the channel. Why wouldn't you? Now, let's have a look at this puzzle and its rules, which are very straightforward. Normal Sudoku rules apply. We'll be putting 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Now, the arrow rules. Along the arrows, the digits along an arrow sum up to the number in the attached circle. So those 3 digits add up to whatever that is, which is clearly the same number as this because it's a 1-cell arrow. So that must work in exactly the same way. We do have some circles connected to multiple arrows, like that one we just looked at, but also like this one, which has 3 different arrows. They must all sum to the same total, which goes in there. Give it a try. There's no given digits. You wouldn't expect that. No idea what we're going to find. You can check the video length to see potentially how hard this is or how hard I made it. And let's get cracking. So I want to say that this is a 1-2 pair. And I can't say that because this arrow coming from the central box does not, this circle in the central box, does not have an arrow coming from it that is more than 1 cell. Oh, so much as I think that might be a 1-2 pair, I cannot say that it is. And in fact, I don't have the justification. What have we got? Okay, I'm going to put 6, 7, 8, 9 as the potential totals in these circles because they have 3-cell arrows where the digits all see each other. The minimum values for those digits are 1, 2, and 3, which add up to 6. So these must be 6 or more. What's going on these sort of octopus fellows in the corners? They've each got 3 arrows of 2 cells each. Well, one way of looking at that, and this might be interesting, is the minimum total for the whole set of 3 arrows. Now, we have to bear in mind that we then must divide that minimum total by 3 to find the minimum for the circle. 1, 2, 3, 4 there is 10. I suppose you could have 1s in both of those positions. You're certainly allowed repeat digits on arrows. You'd have a 1 there. That would add up to 12, and that's very annoying because that makes 4 the minimum sum for this arrow. I'm trying to find either a quad there or maybe a quintuple including that. What is this limited to? Because this arrow, at least, well, it could go 1, 2, 1, and that could only be 4. Oh, these ones can't be 4. That's good. That's something. No, hang on. I was just about to say this is at least a sextuple of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But I don't think I can say that. This might be a 3 with a 3 there and a 1, 2 pair on the double cell arrow. That's really annoying. Good City, you're coming. Now, I was going to say 4 doesn't work in these circles. I don't think it's actually going to help me now, but it is true. And that is because if that was 1, 2, 3, 4, one of those digits would be a 4, and that must be adding with something on one of the arrows to make more than 4. So I can at least fill in 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 as the possibles here. Now, if it was 5, is this about flavours, do you think? There are 2 flavours of 2 cell 5 arrows. Yeah, the interesting thing about this is that with 6, you have to allow a 3rd flavour here. And I'll try and explain what I'm talking about. So you can make up 5 in 2 digits in 2 ways. 1, 4 and 2, 3. Now, I suppose that could be 1, 4, and both of these could be 2, 3. However, with a 6, actually, no, this is quite good. With a 5, I think this fails. Right, let's colour this. Right, let us call the flavours of 5 red and yellow. Doesn't matter which is which. We'll call that the red one. So that might be 1, 4, or it might be 2, 3. Now the other cells in the box would have to be the other pair of digits in 1, 2, 3, 4. And therefore they'd be on yellow flavour arrows. Now this looks a possible arrangement, but I think it fails here. And I think it fails because this digit has to be different from both that one and that one. It obviously has to be different from that one because they're in the same column, but it has to be different from that one because you can't have a repeat digit on a 5 arrow because it's odd. Now, the reason I'm getting quite excited about this is the same argument would work for a 6 arrow, except it doesn't. Some people have sometimes said that I explain things like a teacher. This is an example where I'm failing. Now, if this was a 6, the 2 flavour argument fails. And we often say when we're doing a killer Sudoku that 6 only has 2 flavours, 1, 5 and 2, 4. But it doesn't. In a puzzle like this, it can have 3, 3. And either green or yellow could be a 3, 3. And then you can fit, either way round, green and red can be 1, 5 and 2, 4. So 6 is very possible in this octopus head. But 5 isn't, and that must be the same up here. Yeah, I mean, this is a flavour problem as well. If that was the red flavour and they were both yellow, this one will fail because it has to be different from both of those. Lovely. So, right, it all works. That is not a 5. Now we've got our quad. It wasn't a sextuple or a quintuple we were aiming for, it was a quad apparently. 6, 7, 8, 9 are in those cells. These ones are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm never afraid to throw in a lot of pencil marks if they may help. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. Now, what's this? This is not 1 or 2, and it's not 3. The minimum along here is... this is very interesting. Now we know that it can't be a 6 or more. This is a repeat digit, because these 3 digits can't all be different, or they'd add up to at least 6, just as that one must. Therefore, there is a repeat digit if they're not all different. The only place to put a repeat digit is in those 2 cells, and this one is different. So, the repeat digit might be a 1, and that be a 2. That's the minimum. Or the repeat digit could be a 1 again, and that's a 3, or it could be a 2, and that's a 1. But I think we get those combos. Oh, these cells, well, that is 1, 2, 3, or 5 because it's a single cell arrow from there. These ones are less. They can't be 5 even, because you've got to add those 2 together to get that. And there is another quintuple down the central column. So the other digits down the central column are 6, 7, 8, 9. And the 5 in this quintuple is in the middle box, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's not there or there. It's in one of those cells. So one of those cells is a 5, and then we take that into the box, and we can remove 5 from those 2 places and there. Now, what else have we got? That is 6, 7, 8, or 9. It's obviously the same as that. In fact, how can that digit be... Okay, that digit must appear somewhere in row 6, and it can't be in those boxes because it's already in them. Now, how could it possibly be in those cells? Well, it could possibly be if this is a 6, and that's 1, 2, 3. And then you could put a 6 on here with a 1 and a 2 to make 9. Which is quite constrained, but annoyingly it is possible. Oh, green can now not be in any of these cells. What does that do? Does that stop this being a 6? If this was a 6, we worked this out, didn't we? It was going to have 3 flavours. One of them would be a 3-3 pair. Now that could go there. Well, it could go there. Never mind. One of them is a 3-3 pair. The others are the 1-5 and the 2-4 flavour. So if this is a 6, the numbers on the arrows are 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. But I suppose green could go there. In which case that would have to be the 3-3 arrow. Oh, that's interesting. Where's green in the central box? Yes, green is one of this Z pentomino of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Green in the central box is obviously not there for Sudoku reasons in the column, but it's also not there because that's the same as that digit which sees green cells. So green is here, and that is a 1 or a 2. That's not uninteresting. Now, if this was a 1 or a 2, none of these could be. They would be the 3, 4, 5 if that was 6. Oh, but I don't know if that's 1 or 2. That's not worth doing. One of these must be a 1, because this either goes 2, 1, 2, or green is a 1. So neither of these are a 1. I feel like I must be able to rule a 6 out of this cell, but I honestly haven't got a Scooby-Doo how to do it. None of these are green, are they? Well, none of those are green. Right, this can't be a 3. Well, sorry, it's very obvious, and I haven't done this, that it can't be 1 or 2 because it's got a 2-cell arrow. But it can't be a 3 now either, because that can't be a 1-2 pair, or one of them would have to be green. Lovely. So now we've got a 4-5 pair in the central box. That's not a 4. That's not a 4 because of the 4-5 pair in the central column. So that doesn't change that one. This is 4 or 5. Might as well colour those orange, and orange is 4 or 5 will be in one of those cells. Okay, I'm going to colour this as well. This is going to be dark blue, and that must be here in the central box. And this is the other digit from 1, 2 or 3, so we'll make that red. And this is red in the central column. Now red plus, well, this is blue because it sees green and red. Oh, it could be 4 and orange could be 5. Bother. Well, could it? Let's just check that out. If you had a 4 here and a 1 here, 5, green would be 2, and that's impossible because if green is 2, this is 5. That's lovely. Look, if this was a 4, this might have further ramifications than this, but if this was a 4, that would be a 1 and this would be a 5. So this would be a 4, but that couldn't be a 1 again because red is 1. Right. So that's not a 4. It's blue. It's 1, 2 or 3 and it can't be red or green, so it's dark blue. Now red is going to be in one of these 2 cells. This must mean something else. Come on, think, man. I wonder if there's a way of saying that whether this is 9, 8, 7 or 6, that's going to be green. I don't think there is yet. I don't think there is. I bet it will be, but I don't think we can do it. Oh. This one sees red, blue and green, so it's not 1, 2 or 3. So what's the most, I was going to say the most, sorry, the least, what do I mean? The most that this can be is the biggest difference between those 2, which is 5. Well, I wanted to say that it's going to have to be 1, 2 or 3 because then I could colour it green, but actually it could be a 4 or a 5. Let's just make this one grey for now because it's the opposite of the 4, 5 up here. Although I don't know anything about it. This sees red, blue and green as well. That's much bigger. This is 4, 5 or 6. I'm not going higher than 6 this time as I did up there because you've got to add at least 3 on here. So 6 is the max. And one thing I know about 3-cell sums is they have to have 2 of the very low digits, 1, 2 and 3. The ones I've been colouring, they have to because, well, if you didn't have 2 of the lowest digits, the lowest population of digits you can have, if you didn't have 2 out of 1, 2, 3, would be 1, 4 and 5. They add up to 10 and that's too big to go in a circle. So these are the 2 low digits that are not red. They are the dark blue and the bright green. And there's a dark blue up here now by Sudoku. Oh, and bright blue goes in there, as I suspected it would. Oh, there's a problem. Right, I'm thinking about dark blue being a 3. But this is very prescriptive. Yeah, this doesn't work. That's lovely. Right, if dark blue was a 3, this is a 5, this grey one in the central box, because 3 plus 2 green 1s is 3. However, if you make the bright green the 1, this is a 3-2 pair, and that's a 5 as well, and that is a clash. Maybe that was coming out of the earlier work when I could see that this was yielding a bit more than I was working out. Anyway, dark blue is not a 3, and therefore blue and green are 1 and 2, red is 3, and we can fill in some digits after a mere 17 minutes, I thank you. And we probably can't do any more than put in 3 3s and say good. This is a 1-2-1 or a 2-1-2 pair. Oh, this can't be green anymore. Right, that's good. This can't be 6 anymore if this can't be green anymore. I'm very confident about that. Let me try and explain it. First of all, that this can't be green. We've got a green-blue pair there on that line, so this can't be green. None of these can be green because of this. Therefore, if we had 6 as a flavour, we worked this out earlier, we would need a 3-3 pair. Actually, it's obvious we can't. Now we've filled in those. Ah, that can't be 6 either, because you can't put a 3-3 pair there, or there, or there, or there. So neither of these are 6. Now, one of these is a 6, and we know it isn't this one, because that can't be 1, 2, 3. So that's the 6 in bright blue. And we've got 3 6s to go with our 3 3s. This is blue and red, not blue and white. This is bright green. Still can't disambiguate the 1s and 2s. But this is not a 6, and that's not a 6. So now this is not a 9. 7 or 8 there, and one of these octopi is a 9. Now, will 7 work here? Because we've eliminated an awful lot of colours, of low-digit colours from here. In fact, that can't be 1, 2, or 3, because they're all here. It is therefore, well, 4, 5, 7, or 8. This one also can't be 1, 2, or 3. And we cannot have green in any of these cells. So the least they could be is a 1 if blue was 1, and 3, 4, 5, which adds up to 13, plus 4 is 19. That's still short of 21, pity. Six, 1, 2. Wow, this is hard. Grey. Ah, that's brilliant. Right, grey is in one of those 2 cells in box 6. And therefore this one is orange. Orange and grey, remember, are the 4, 5 pair. Now, if only I could work out which it was, that would be something. Now, come on, can this be 7? Let's just think it through. That would have to be a digit below 7, which would be orange. That would have to be a digit below 7, which would be grey. I think this column sees all the other colours below 7. So orange and grey would already be there. I mean, there can be repeats. Oh, but they would be 4 and 5. This would be a 3-2 pair. That would be the 3. This would be the 2. Oh, of course, 7. I think 7 needs to use all 3 flavours. Yes, it's much the same argument as we had earlier. If you put one flavour there and the other flavour here, this can't be the same flavour as that one because there'll be a clash between these 2 cells into one of those. Yes, 7 can't have a repeat digit, so that matters. So if one of these corners is a 7, and I wonder if we're about to prove that neither is, then the digits on the arrows have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, because all 3 flavours would need to be used. That's essentially what we proved earlier with the 6 and the 3 flavours. Right, so if this was a 7, that would be 4 and 5. This would be 2 and 3. This would be 1 and 6. Oh, don't tell me that's possible. That's really annoying. What about up here? If that was a 7... Now, it's not quite the same up here. There's a bit less restriction around. Well, the only place for the red 3 is there. So that would be a 4, which would be grey. And then there's nowhere for orange. Right, that's bizarre, but it works fine to prove this isn't a 7. Right, if this was a 7, we'd need all of the colours up here. Red could only be there. Red is a 3. That would put 4 here, which obviously couldn't be orange and would be grey. Now well, once you put the 3 there, where can orange go? It's not allowed in any of those cells because of those 2 oranges. So in fact, that is the only cell that both red and orange can go in. That's the way to look at it. God, that's hard to see. Orange and red are ruled out of all of those, so they'd both have to be in there, but we've worked out we would need all of them. Now, can we do the same here for some other colour? Green can't be in any of those. Well, red can't be in any of those. Red would be in one of these 2. Green, Oh, green can't be in any of the cells. Oh, it's that simple. Sorry, I've got that green and those 2. Green can't be in any of the cells. Neither of these octopi are 7s. They're an 8-9 pair. This is a 7. That needs a 4 in orange. Now we know that orange is a 4. Brilliant, 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 brilliant puzzle this is. Love it. Right, 4 and 3. Now we've disambiguated blue and green. Dark blue is 1. Green is 2. Colours are working a treat today. Grey is 5, and that works, of course. Right, this is not 4, so this is quite limited. The biggest difference available is 4. That is 3 or 4. What about this? This sees 4, 2, 6 and 1, 3. This is at least a 5. And the biggest difference here is 4, but this has to be 1 or 2. Because it can't be 3 or 4. This can't be 6 or 4. It's 5, 7 or 8. The biggest difference again is 4. But this can't be 1, 3 or 4. So this must be a 2, which is green. That is blue and therefore 1. That fixes 1 and 2 down here. Ah, I love this. I love the way this is falling out. We get a 1 by Sudoku down off an arrow over here. 2s, there's a 2 somewhere there, and a 2 somewhere there. Now, this can't be a 5 anymore by maths. This one, we can eliminate we can eliminate 2 of them. This can't be a 5 or an 8, so that is a 7. And this is a 9 on this octopus, and that's an 8. And this is a naked 5, and that's a 9, and this is 4, and we colour 4s and 5s, or shall we stop colouring 4s and 5s? Let's stop colouring 4s and 5s and 6s, and just keep the colours on 1, 2, 3, I think, because that's probably good for clarity. Anyway, we got the 9 in the centre, we get the 8. The central circle is finished. This is not 8. This is not 8. 7 or 5 there. Must be a 3 here now. And 5. This has to be a different flavour. Let's cling on to the things we've learnt in this puzzle. 4, 7, 9. This is a 5, 8 pair. Oh, they've got a colour that they shouldn't have anymore. 4 or 7 there. So this could be 4 or 1. And what's this pair? Ah, it's not a 2, 6 pair because of those cells looking there. It's not a 3, 5 pair because of that. So it's a 1, 7 pair. This can't be obviously the repeat 4, 4 pair. So we get the 1 there, and now we get 4s in those cells. So we do have a repeat 4 pair. That is the only repeat pair on an arrow in the puzzle in the end, if we don't count these 1 cell jobbies. That's a 9. That's a 7. That's a 3, 9 pair. This is a 5, 7 pair. This is a lovely puzzle, Good City. You have done an amazing job with this. Very, very clever. 5, 4. That is not a 4, so that's where 4 is. This is 6 or 8, and we've got 6, 8, and 5 to put in. Oh, 9 is done in this box. There it goes. Those aren't 9s, so this is a 3, 9 pair. We know the order. In fact, there's some colouring to sort out. Now, can we just keep colouring to a finish? No, not at all, because we've got all the corners are very uncertain. We need to do still Sudoku. What's this? This is an I-wing. That's a 7, so that isn't. That's not a 7 either, so that's 7. I can put in a 7 in box 3 in the only place it's allowed. 6 or 8, 6, 8 or 9. That's 6 or 8, so 9 is done in that column. That's a 9 by Sudoku. 5, 8 pair. That gives me a 5, 6, 8 triple. Yeah, that's a brilliant triple. 3, 2. That finishes every other cell in the top row. That's extraordinary. Now I've got a 5, 6, 8 triple in row 2. I wonder if they're better than triples and I'm just not spotting that. Right, 1 and 3 there. So we colour those away. Now I can colour that as blue. That must be red. This must be green. That must be green. That's a digit I wouldn't have got without the colouring that quickly. Those must be red. And blues are done. And greens are done. And reds, no, that green isn't done. There we go. So that's all the colouring. I can put 2s in there. I can put 3s in there. That's fixing a 9 here. Okay, 1s, 2s and 3s are all done. My colours have been marvellous. 5, 6 and 8 to place. Looks like it's going to be a puzzle of disambiguating 5s, 6s and 8s. And 1 pair of 7s or something. Oh no, I can put 4 in there. Oh, I've got a 6, 8 pair here. That's going to do all the work. Right. 7, 5. Now I am down to 5, 6s and 8s. I can do the 5 in row 8. I don't know what I'm now putting in there. Okay, that does that 8, 5 pair. That finishes boxes 6 and 9. Now I can finish box 1. I bet I can finish box 7. Yes, I can. And now I'm finishing the puzzle. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant work. That's a clever puzzle. Oh, goodness, I'm really impressed with how that came together. There's some lovely deductions there. That would have been a great one for the app. Thank you, Good City. that's a really nice workout. Let me know how you got on with that puzzle. I'd be absolutely intrigued. I might have missed something about the octopi or octopodes, I keep getting told is the correct plural, earlier, but I doubt that I did. Dunno. Let me know. Thanks for watching as always. Hope to see you again soon on the channel. Have a great Sunday evening. Bye for now.